Welcome to the bedtime story time. It's time for a story about the Magic Mouse. As you recall, Magic Mouse moved into the treehouse in Mother Amal's garden, where the children had graciously invited it to live. Mouse being so small, so as never ever to be seen, and no one could tell if Mouse were a boy or a girl. Mouse said it made no difference. On this particular day, Magic Mouse received a call from back in time. It was from his old friend, the great dinosaur, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Rex had called Mouse and said, "Please, Mouse, come. I want to be back among the living. I've been here for 29 million years in silence. I have to be out among people and enjoy myself." "I'm afraid it's impossible," said Mouse. "The day of the dinosaur is over. You can't be big and mean and violent and think you can have it your way. No, I'm afraid your life is nothing but a dead end. Please, Mouse, I'll do anything if I can come back." Well, Mouse said, "Anything?" "Well, yes, anything." "Well, what if we changed you? What if you were to become, I know, we will make you the world's first and only giant grape bush tree." "A grape bush tree?" "Well, yes, that way you can look like Tyrannosaurus Rex, you can sound like Tyrannosaurus Rex, you can be as large as Tyrannosaurus Rex, only you will be made up of grapes and your feet will be planted deeply in the ground so that when you feel like being violent, you won't be able to pull your feet up and step on things. Do you accept our offer?" And without much hesitation, Tyrannosaurus Rex said, "I accept," and the deed was done. And in a very short time, there in front of the treehouse in Mother Amal's garden was this giant Tyrannosaurus Rex made up of grapes. Oh, Mouse said, we must change your name also to Tyrannosaurus Grape, and you can be my friend and butler." Well, Grape was so excited, he could not stop talking. He just had not spoken for all these years, and he gossiped like the worst of all. And he said, "You'll never know what happened yesterday, but a dog's bark without a dog came by and was looking for a quiet place to rest." And Mouse said it could stay. But where was this dog bark going? He said it was going to Hong Kong to see what the Chinese had to say about life. Well, the dog bark didn't get very far, and the children looked at Grape and said, what purpose have you got? We're hungry. Can we have some of your grapes? And Grape said, "Of course you may. I can feed you all. But you're too tall. How can we get up into you?" Well, Mouse said, "I solved that problem." And Mouse brought the green pretzel snake. This marvelous little green pretzel snake lived high in the branches of Tyrannosaurus Grape. And when the children gave it a pretzel, it went up, snared some grapes, and fed them. And the children were so happy, for in Angelville they had this giant dinosaur grape bush tree which loved them and could not be violent. And peace once again came to Angelville. Even though a great monster had arrived, it was taken out of its violence and brought into a place of peace and serenity. And all was well when suddenly there was a word going about that something had gotten through the tunnel that led to the path to the center of everything. And panic and pandemonium broke loose. The Emerald Twinkler came in, speaking upside down and backwards, and no one knew what to do. No one knew what to do. It was horrible. There was a monster who had gotten through the tunnel, and even this great Tyrannosaurus Grape could have saved them, but he was planted in the ground. And the children were sad, and tomorrow we'll find out what happened. But that's our story for today.
I think you're wonderful when somebody says that to me. I feel wonderful, as wonderful can be. It makes me wanna say the same thing to somebody new. And by the way, I've been meaning to say, I think you're wonderful too. When we practice this phrase in the most honest way, find something special in someone each day. We lift up the world one heart at a time. It all starts by saying this one simple line. I think you're wonderful. When somebody says that to me, I feel wonderful, as wonderful can be. It makes me wanna say the same thing to somebody new. And by the way, I've been meaning to say, I think you're wonderful too. When each one of us feels important inside, loving and giving and glad we're alive. Oh, what a difference we'll make in each day. And all because someone decided to say, I think you're wonderful. When somebody says that to me, I feel wonderful, as wonderful can be. It makes me wanna say the same thing to somebody new. And by the way, I've been meaning to say, I think you're wonderful too. And by the way, I've been meaning to say, I think you're wonderful too.
The next selection we're going to read is from Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne. This is entitled In Which Eeyore Has a Birthday and Gets 2 Presents.
Eeyore, the old gray donkey, stood by the side of the stream and looked at himself in the water.
Pathetic.
He said,
That's what it is. Pathetic.
Oh, he turned and walked slowly down the stream for 20 yards, splashed across it, and walked down back to the other side. And then he looked at himself in the water again.
As I thought, no better from this side. But nobody cares, nobody minds. Pathetic, that's what it is.
Good morning, Eeyore,
Said Pooh. Good morning, Pooh Bear.
said Eeyore gloomily.
If it is a good morning, which I doubt.
Why? What's the matter?
Oh, nothing, Pooh Bear, nothing. We can't all, and some of us don't. That's all there is to it.
Can't all what? Said Pooh, rubbing his nose.
Gaiety, song and dance. Here we go round the mulberry bush,
Oh.
said Pooh.
What mulberry bush is that?
Bonhomie,
Went on Eeyore gloomily.
French word meaning bonhomie.
He explained.
I'm not complaining, but there it is.
Now, Pooh sat down on a large stone and tried to think this out. It sounded to him like a riddle, and he was not very much good at riddles, being a bear of very little brain.
So he sang Cottlestone Pie instead.
Cottlestone, cottlestone, cottlestone pie. A fly can't bird, but a bird can fly. Ask me a riddle and I'll reply. Cottlestone, cottlestone, cottlestone pie.
That was the first verse.
When he'd finished, Eeyore didn't actually say he didn't like it.
So Pooh very kindly hummed the second verse to him. That's right, sing tiddly-umpty-doo. Here we go gathering nuts in May. Enjoy yourself.
I am, said Pooh.
Some can, said Eeyore.
Why? What's the matter?
Is anything the matter?
You seem so sad, Eeyore.
Sad? Why should I be sad? It's my birthday, the happiest day of my life.
Your birthday? Said Pooh in great surprise.
Of course it is. Can't you see? Look at the presents I have. He waved a paw from side to side. Look at the birthday cake, candles, and pink sugar,
Presents?
said Pooh.
Birthday cake?
Said Pooh.
Where?
Can't you see them?
No, said Pooh.
Neither can I.
Said Eeyore.
Joke.
He exclaimed.
Ha, ha.
I'm going to Colorado to look for some gold. Got to find my fortune before I get too old. Going to Colorado, Colorado, here I come. You got some gold up in your mountains. I need to get me some.
Hello, is this seat taken?
Please join us.
We're on our way to go to Colorado Springs to see my grandma and grandpa. Where are you going to?
I'm off to seek my fortune. I haven't decided which mining town. There's so many to choose from. I heard Leadville has slowed a bit since the silver crash of 1863. I might try Gunnison or Silverton. Cripple Creek sounds good now. The news of the gold strikes there has traveled fast.
How will you get to all those different towns?
The railroad, you can be sure. Why, I can catch a train to nearly any mining town nowadays.
Will you get rich?
That's not polite, Jacob.
I'm not sure, Jacob. I hear tell some men come out west and immediately strike gold and become very wealthy. I've met others on my journey out here that have lost all the money they brought with them trying to find gold or silver with no success. They can't even find a flake of gold, so they're on their way back east. I plan to take work in a mine that is up and running. I'll work and learn, and then I can set out on my own. Sometimes the gold comes in small flakes that they can pan from streams and creeks. Other times it comes mixed into rocks that they mine from deep underground. They take these rocks to mills and remove the gold either by smashing the rocks apart or by using chemicals at smelters to melt the gold out of the rock. The Midland Railroad carries gold ore down from Cripple Creek to Colorado City, to the Golden Cycle Mill.
Your Uncle Matthew took a ride on the Midland Railroad. He and Aunt Emma rode it on a wildflower excursion. They rode up Ute Pass for the day, collecting wildflowers and picnicking. Maybe we can go with Grandma and Grandpa.
Imagine that, a railroad taking folks to collect flowers. Railroads sure have made my journey easier. Without them, I would have had to travel by stagecoach or wagon, like the early miners did. Seems we've arrived in Colorado Springs.
Good luck, sir, on your search for gold.
You made our travel very pleasant. Best of luck to you.
I'm glad you enjoyed your first train trip, Jacob. I hope you can enjoy many more. Good afternoon, ma'am. Jacob.
Though most of the trains our 1895 passengers rode are now gone, Colorado still has several train rides on the same tracks the young man rode to find his fortune. Imagine how different your trip to Colorado would have been had you taken a train. If you have never ridden a train, you might try riding one of Colorado's historic railroads. Think how excited the young man was as he rode trains such as these in search of gold.
I'm going to Colorado to look for some gold. I got to find my fortune before I get too old. I'm going to Colorado, Colorado, here I come. You got some gold up in your mountains. I need to get me some. I'm going to Colorado, get that yellow gold, yes.
Hi, and welcome to Silicon Kids. I'm Melanie.
I'm Trisha.
I'm Nancy.
I'm Annie.
I'm Dale.
And I'm Sunil. On today's show,
Dale visits KNTV Channel 11 in San Jose. He interviews Maggie Skura, a newscaster. Maggie gives Dale a tour of the television station and the newsroom. Then, Silicon Kids visits Family Day at the UFRAT Gallery on the campus of De Anza College in Cupertino. And Sunil interviews Jan Fleisch and Diana Argabright of the UFRAT Gallery. We also get to see the youth art exhibit titled The Fourth R, Art.
hope you enjoy our show.
Please only have contact 50.
Hi, I'm Dale with Silicon Kids at KNTV Channel 11 in San Jose with Maggie Skura, the newscaster for the 5 and 6 o'clock news. Maggie, how long have you been a newscaster for Channel 11 News?
Well, for Channel 11, I've been here for I'm laughing because I've been here a long time. I've been here about 14 years, and that's almost as old as you are, I realize, Dale, so it's a long time. I also want to welcome everybody to what we consider our little home here. This is the actual news set. We do all of our newscasts from here. We have 4 of them a day, starting at 6 in the morning, and you're sitting in Doug's chair. I'm sitting in my chair. This is where it happens.
Besides reading the news, what goes on in your workday life?
Well, it kind of depends on the day. Sometimes more is going on one day than another day. I often will go out and do stories or special reports or interviews with people. And when people say, besides reading the news, I always cringe a little bit because it's really so much more than that. We write a good deal of everything that is quote, read. You know, delivering the finished newscast is the end product, but an entire day of preparation goes on before you actually look at the people and deliver the news. So there's a whole day of work that goes into it.
Who decides the news stories that you report on?
It's a process that involves several people. Of course, there's our news director, our managing editor, our producer, who actually structures each newscast and gives the writing assignments. In other words, one person will write this story, another person will write that story, and the assignment editor coordinates all of the cameras and the reporters and decides who will run out and get this story. Or if something happens downtown or out in Cupertino, they'll dispatch a crew out to there. So it's a lot of people making decisions all day long.
How does a news story evolve from typing it on the computer or until it's reported on the air?
Well, in our case, it's typing it on the typewriter, Dale. Hopefully, we'll all be getting computers soon, but it's you gather information from a number of sources. You can gather it from talking to a person, from going to the telephones, interviewing a number of people, gathering wire copy if it's a national story, Associated Press wire, UPI. Also, our network, ABC, sends us information electronically every day. We get taped stories or videotape from all over the country, and you just put together a little bit of everything and come up with a story. If it's a local story, you will go out to the location or the scene wherever something happened and gather your information right there.
Okay. Do you have any personal views involved with any of the stories that you've done?
Well, of course we do, because we live here. You know, we're citizens of this county. Mm-hmm. What goes on and what affects you affects us too. But when we're doing our job is to present the information objectively so that folks can make up their own minds about situations. To say that we don't have personal views on things would be to say we're not human. But that doesn't have anything to do with what our job is. Our job is to present the information without bias and do it objectively and let you make your own choices.
Do you still get nervous before a newscast?
I get nervous doing these kind of interviews because you're not prepared, you know, and you always get you never know what's coming. I guess if you're nervous about anything, it's because you don't know what's happening or you're not prepared. Usually when you've spent all day working on stories, you're pretty familiar with what they're going to be. And you're not terribly nervous about the product. But because we are a live program, many unexpected things happen, and sometimes you do get a little bit nervous when the unexpected comes along, as it always does. You know, you have to talk on the fly and hope that your mind doesn't fail you, and that you can say some intelligent things without having written them beforehand. But it's always a surprise. I think that's why we like it, and why it's okay to stay in this kind of a business for a long time, because it does always change. So yes, you do get nervous sometimes, but I think it's good to be surprised.
Was growing up, was being a news person always your dream?
If you say being a news person on television, no, I never really thought about that. But I did start working on school newspapers when I was in the 5th grade, and then in the 8th grade, and then in high school, a little bit in college. So I was always interested in journalism of some form or another, and I suppose I thought I would write for a newspaper, and broadcasting was a job that I got first.
What kind of training have you had, like classes in high school and college?
Well, as I said, I was writing for school newspapers, and I continued doing that type of thing, taking classes in mainly English and literature, and doing a lot of writing. I didn't major in broadcasting, and I don't think that that's really necessary for people who want to do this for a living. I think what's necessary is learning as much as you can about everything, being able to write well and reason well, and express yourself well, and be able to think on your feet, and more of those skills really than taking courses that will teach you about microphones and cameras. That will come later if you really want to be a reporter.
Maggie, do you have any advice or recommendations to young people who have interest in the field of journalism?
Journalism in general, I would say read everything you can get your hands on about current events in the world. It doesn't take much to be able to go to a library and read many news weeklies and as many newspapers as you can. That doesn't mean just reading your local newspaper. Newspapers from all over the country and from all over the world. There's a lot going on out there, and that will give you a real flavor for what's happening and how the world changes, and to see if you're interested in that type of thing, and learn how to write well and keep at it. If you want to go into television, internships when you're in college is something that will help you figure out if the television business is what you want.
Do you think you've obtained all your journalism goals?
Oh, I would hope not. I think if you don't have goals, then it gets pretty boring. My goals are constantly to do more and to do whatever I do better. And I know those are pretty general, but as long as they work for me, I guess it's okay.
Are you ever involved in community benefits?
Yeah, that is a big part of the job. When your face is on television, people will recognize you a little bit more, and you do have a very strong contact with your community. People will approach you and ask you to do things, and after a while, I mean, you just don't wait for them to ask. There's so much going on in our community, so many really, really good causes. If we can do anything at all to help somebody further a cause that's going to help all of us, then we're happy to do it. It's really part of our job. It's something that we need to do. It helps us figure out what's going on in people's minds. It helps us try to do a little bit, give a little bit back.
What kind of things do you do outside of the television that you broadcast?
I mean, for fun?
Yeah.
Gee, I don't know. This is so much fun. It's pretty normal things. I go to the grocery store. I go on vacation sometimes. I like to travel. I never get to do enough recreational reading. That's always fun. You know, we're always doing the magazine and newspaper and all of that kind of reading, but some nice fiction would be good sometimes. I don't get to do enough of that. Spending time with my family and animals, and just being a normal person. So.
Well, Maggie, thank you.
Sure, my pleasure.
This is Dale for Silicon Kids.
Maggie shows Dale the studio cameras and gives him a tour of the station.
So where are we going now?
Well, we just happen to have stopped right in front of the sports office. This is where our sports director, Bob Stepanich, and our weekend sports anchor, Rick Chavez, hang out and prepare all the sports. They're not here right now, but that's where they get all of their stories together. And if we walk down this way, We're going by the weather office. Again, closed right now. Everything starts later in the afternoon for sports and weather. The sports people are all out shooting right now, and the weather fellow, Steve Schill, will be in about an hour to start taking care of all those kinds of things. I'd let you in there, but it's locked.
Oh, okay.
Now we've got 5 editing rooms. This is one of them. And it's dark. No? Too dark? Okay, well, here's one of them. There's another office back there. Difficult to see. But come on, we'll see what we can look into. There's another editing booth in there. Maybe you can't see. This is our tape library. And just about every story we've done for the last, I would say, 10 years is somewhere in these hundreds of tapes in here. And supposedly somebody knows how to find them. But we refer to our library quite a bit. Okay. More editing booths down here. I want to try, even though they're dark. Let's go. Our sports director, Bob Stepanich, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Bob.
Hi.
What's going on? This is the Silicon Kids show from the end.
Silicon Kid Show? You have got me with no shoes on. Look, preparing for the Super Bowl. I'm going to lose my shirt on Monday on my bet. I've lost my shoes today preparing for the big game.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. We're not rolling anyway. Get out.
We caught Bob at a bad time. More editing booths. So this is where all of the stories that you see on the air get put together in the rooms. Hi, Doug. Say hello.
Hi, Meg.
It's our managing editor's office.
Sort of a walking tour.
Yeah, we're having a tour. This is our wire room, and our wires are on computer. So this is old home week for Rich, but we have a computerized wire service. And this is our newsroom, and again, it's a rather quiet time of day because all of the crews are out gathering stories. Some of them are just rushing in. They're going to knock you over. Hold on.
Ken on the phone for you.
And what you're looking at here, this is our assignment desk. And at the moment, that's Lorna, and she's gathering information for a crew out in the field and trying to coordinate which camera will go where.
So everybody's usually always busy here then?
Yes. There's not a lot of sitting around doing nothing time. It's always something going on. The news director's office. He's not here right now either. Hi, sir. There's that lovely Peninsula Magazine cover in there, too. But, hi, Paul.
The numerical count on.
This is the location that you would see a lot of the teases coming from, those news teases we were talking about that come on different times during the day. Doug or I or someone else will sit behind the desk and come on live or either on tape, talk to that camera there. And sometimes we have reporters in the newsroom when we're actually doing the news, and we'll debrief them on the stories they've just come back from. And you see there's more monitors, more computers, and more typewriters. And this is what we do all day. This is where I live. My desk.
Lots of stuff on your desk.
Yes, well, it's rather neat now. It can be messy, but I consider this a tidy desk.
Oh, yeah.
We could use more storage space always, but and it fills up pretty quickly. It's not a very large space, but we managed to crank out 4 newscasts a day from here. And
Be myself.
yeah, This is it, our little place. That's the news for now. Thanks for joining us. World News Tonight is next.
What is my number?
to go over the lines a couple times to get a good impression. Now you can draw your design inside the circle. Okay? This is the one I did as a sample. Okay, and then I printed with it. Okay, so go ahead and draw your design in the circle. You take some of that too.
Hi, I'm Sunil with Silicon Kids at the UFRAT Art Gallery on the campus of De Anza College in Cupertino. With me is
Jan Rindfleisch, director of the UFRAT Gallery.
Diana Argabright, Arts and Schools Coordinator for the UFRAT Gallery.
What is the purpose of the UFRAT Art Gallery?
The main idea here is to put out art for people to look at and to think about. We have art that comes in from all over the country and from people from all walks of life, young and old, and the idea is to get people to look at it and think about it and talk about it.
Jan, what sort of art do you display here?
There's a variety of different media, actually, that you can come in and see at any particular time. You can see paintings or sculpture, drawing. In the exhibition that we have right now, we have some chairs that are painted on. We have prints. Sometimes we have installation pieces that we'll be talking about in a little while. A variety of different media. Sometimes it's things that are sewn, you know. That's a very important medium because people have used that for centuries. And woodworking.
How long has the gallery been here?
Actually, I think since about 1972, something like 20-some years. It's been here quite a while. I haven't been here that long.
What is the fourth R and why do you stress it?
Well, the first three R's are reading, writing, arithmetic, and we thought, well, the fourth R is art, but actually we feel also here that art could be called the first R because art came before there was writing. People started to make pictures and writing developed out of the artwork that people did. But I think there are many reasons why I think art is either the first R or the fourth R or one of the first four R's. And that is because it has to do with people expressing themselves. It's who you are. It's a way of communicating visually. You yourself are an art form, the way you have your hair cut, the kind of shirt you wear. You know,
You have a special art exhibit right now. Can you tell us about it?
Would you like to know about what's behind us first?
Oh, sure.
Okay, well, this is artwork that was done all by children ranging from preschool to junior high, from mostly within the Cupertino Union School District, with a little bit coming from Sunnyvale School District and a little bit from Los Altos. And the idea behind it was, there's several ideas. Number one was to say that art done by children is absolutely just as wonderful and well done as art done by adults, and so we wanted to display some art by children alongside art by adults and show that it can stand on its own, which it does. And number two was to encourage kids and teachers to work together on projects instead of each person doing their one separate piece of art, that to work in groups, to learn to cooperate, to share ideas, and then to, even in a bigger picture, to bring all these collaborative projects together into one scene. So what we're looking at back here is called the family room, and it's supposed to be kind of funny and serious both. So it shows what do children and adults need. Well, we obviously need food, we need a place to live, we need clothing.
How many children were involved in making this exhibit?
Actually, I counted almost 700 different children from about 24 different schools.
Why do you think it is important to show children's art in an art gallery?
Well, I think it's important in this gallery here and in other galleries to exhibit art that everybody does. And so when I'm thinking about all ages, that would mean that children's art ought to be in here all the time with different types of art that we put on. When Diana had earlier said that she thought the children's art stood up very well in this gallery, I think one of the things about it, it is so colorful and so alive that it jumps all, it looks better than a lot of other things when you put it in. So it definitely, I think when you're asking questions that have to do with any of the things that involve us that are important to life today, you want to look around and see what different people think about things. And I think it's important to look to people of all ages, and that includes children, to see what their thinking is on a subject and to pull all those things together and to get a dialogue.
How do you think art helps a youngster cope with everyday life? And do you think it helps in a stressful situation?
I sure do. For instance, I could give a lot of for instances, but one of my favorite stories is one day a parent called me up, a dad, and he said, I just want to thank you for having this program, and here's why. And his fourth grade son used to, before he started taking the art class, used to come home every day, plunk himself down in front of the television set, and that was it. They'd have to pry him away for dinner and make him go take a bath at night. But when he started to take the art class, he got very inspired by creating things, and he would come home and he wasn't interested in watching TV anymore, and he would do artwork. And one really interesting thing he did was, his father said whenever a conflict would arise between the family members, his son would go off and draw a picture about it and then come back and say, here, Dad, this is what I think. Here's a picture of what I think. And it would start a really nice conversation, and usually they would resolve the problem very quickly. Instead of, in the past, I think he would storm off to the TV set and just be kind of sullen about it. So there's a real concrete example of how art helped change the way that the family relates to each other.
If anyone in our audience would like to get involved with our art projects, where can they call?
Well, they could call here at the gallery, numbers 864-8836. If we're doing phone numbers, maybe we can put that on at the end. But otherwise, we're pretty much here all the time. We have open hours on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Wednesday night, and a lot of times on Saturdays. But for tour groups, particularly children's groups, but actually groups of all ages that come through, we open at other times, because I think it's real important to get groups of people to come through and be able to look at the art together and discuss it and talk about how they feel about it, and encourage them to do their own artwork too.
Recently, you had a special event there for children. Can you tell us about it?
Mm-hmm. It was called Family Day, and I know the camera can't see this. There's some piñatas up there, and these wonderful skulls, and a little altar for Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. And these shells back here, the artist's name was Luchita Ugalde, and she came and did a great workshop on trees of life, Arbos de la Vida, or family trees, for instance, which was all made out of basically brown paper bags from Safeway cut into strips, starched, and they constructed wonderful family trees. And then another hands-on art exhibit we had that day was, was taught by Kimiko Azama, and they did family crests, or the kids and adults made up symbols to represent their family, inspired by the Japanese and Chinese tradition of making mones and chops, they're called. Anyhow, so everything that day revolved around family and getting kids to bring their parents to come and have fun also. And we had a great big chalk-in out there, which was really nice, where kids, and what the neatest part is that it wasn't just the kids who were on their knees chalking the ground, it was dads and moms and uncles, and then we had a cakewalk, which was a lot of fun. And once again, we had moms and dads and parents hopping in a circle right along with the kids. And of course, it was also the opening for the family room exhibit.
Jan, when does the gallery open, and is there a charge?
No, there's no charge. As I mentioned, we're open on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 11 to 4, Wednesday evening 7 to 9, and Saturday from 11 to 2. And most important, we're open for tour groups whenever there's an opportunity to do that, because we like to get people to come together and discuss the art and look at it and get encouraged to do some more art themselves.
Thank you, Jan and Diane. This is Sunil for Silicon Kids.
Well, that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please join us next time here on
Silicon Kids.
I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, and it's a friend to me. I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, and it's a friend to me. Here we go, together. I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, and it's a friend to me. I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, and it's a friend to me. I chat with the wind and the tide of life as it flows through the universe, and me I revel in the bright sunlight as it warms the universe, and me I companion with the creator of the universe, and me. Together, I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, and it's a friend to me. I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, and it's a friend to me. I chat with the wind and the tide of life as it flows through the universe, and me I revel in the bright sunlight as it warms the universe, and me I companion with the creator of the universe, and me. I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, and it's a friend to me. I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, and it's a friend. One more time. I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, I am a friend of the universe, and it's a friend to me. Hey!
Hi, Elwood and I are here to share something with you. We were talking about it before we went on camera, that It's okay to be afraid.
I was afraid last night. There was a big storm, and I got scared.
A storm?
Yeah, there was thunder and lightning and a lot of wind and rain, and it was scary.
Wow, what did you do?
I went and I talked to Dr. C, and he said, everybody gets scared sometimes.
Right.
But I was still scared.
Did you hide under the bed?
No, I went and sat next to him, and I felt better.
You sat next to him and
Yeah,
felt better?
we snuggled. Kind of
Well,
like
you can
that.
do that with your mom, too, can't you?
Yeah, I do that with my mom and with my
your
dad.
or your grandma or
Yeah, and with my sister.
whoever. Well, you snuggle the babysitter?
If she'll let me.
Oh, she'll let you? You're
Yeah.
a wise one, Ella.
Sometimes I give slivers, though. You know, when I snuggle too close, people get slivers from me, and, you know, then they don't want to snuggle anymore.
But you said Dr. C told you it was really okay to be afraid?
He told me everybody gets afraid sometimes, even the President of the United States.
The president gets afraid?
Sometimes he does, yeah.
Wow, I wonder what he's afraid of.
I don't know, maybe wars?
Or his wife?
That could be, I think so, I think that's it.
Yeah. So when you're afraid, go talk to somebody about it?
Yeah. And don't feel bad because everybody gets afraid. It doesn't mean that you're just scared of everything. Everybody gets afraid sometimes.
Well, you know, sometimes people are different religions, but they close their eyes and they pray to God, however they see God. Sometimes they're Christians and they pray to Christ, and sometimes they're Jewish and they pray to God, and if they're from Islam, they pray to God, and they're Hindus, and they're Buddhists, and there are people of all kinds of religions. But whenever they're afraid, what do?
Pray.
They pray. And it's okay to pray.
Yeah, and then they don't feel as afraid anymore, huh?
That's right.
Okay, well, it's good to know. You get afraid sometimes?
I only get afraid when I'm afraid. And if I'm not afraid at the moment, then I'm not thinking about fear. I don't want to be afraid of fear. So I don't think when I'm afraid that I'm not afraid, because when I'm not afraid, I sometimes become afraid. And if I don't, and I get into the circle, it's like riding a merry-go-round, and it goes, I'm afraid, I'm not, I'm afraid, I'm not. You bounce up and down on the merry-go-round.
I didn't understand one thing you said, but it sounded pretty good anyway.
Well, I got that from the official committee that met officially on official business to discuss official reports of official behavior, acting in an official way, when one of the officials got up and said, why? And that didn't sound very official, so why don't we say goodbye now?
Okay.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye. See you guys.
Hey kids, this is Teddy. I got a little tune about Tucson. Teddy's tune about Tucson. Here it comes. Oh, Tucson, I got real friends back down in Tucson. Oh, I don't know who they are, but they can't be very far, and I'm bound to be a big star down in Tucson. Oh, Tucson, I got real friends back down in Tucson. They can't be very far. I don't know who they are, and I'm gonna be a big star down in Tucson. I swore upon the Bible, and now they hold me liable for the law that is inscribed in my heart. I'm sitting at the bus stop. My life has been a big flop. I'm looking for a hot spot. I'm looking for a hot spot. I'm looking for a hot spot down in Tucson. Now if I could, I surely would. I said if I could, I surely would. I said if I could, I surely would stand on the rock where Moses stood saying, you better get on across to Tucson. How Moses stood on the Red Sea shore. Oh, Moses stood on the Red Sea shore. Oh, Moses stood on the Red Sea shore, smote the water with a 2x4, said, you better get on across to Tucson. Oh, Tucson, oh, Tucson, I got real friends back down in Tucson. I don't know who they are, but they can't be very far, and I'm bound to be a big star down in Tucson. I swore upon the Bible, and now they hold me liable for the law that is inscribed in my heart. I'm sitting at the bus stop. My life has been a big flop. I'm looking for a hot spot. I'm looking for a hot spot. I'm looking for a hot spot down in Tucson. Thank you.
You want to join the Magic Mouse loving gang, right, girls?
Right.
So all you got to do is call 889-3100 and become a member without cost. It's free. The Magic Mouse loving gang. And now that we finished the program for today, why don't you try something? Turn the television off. You don't want to look at all that violence and all that other stuff. Go out and have some fun. Sing our song with us. Remember the song? I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me. I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity. So let's go. Find some balloons, blow them up, have some fun. But get away from the box. Even get away from us for a while. Okay, see ya.
This is Lester Quibbles with my quibbles for today. My quibbles for today involve food. Food, yes, food. That thing we all love and we can't do without. But listen, food is a problem. Why is it a problem, you ask? Food is a problem because you have to eat it. And when you eat it, you can get fat. And when you get fat, you have to start going on a diet, or you have to fast. And if you fast, then you're hungry. So why eat in the first place? It's a stupid thing to do. So I recommend never eating. Don't eat. You won't enjoy it because it doesn't do you any good. It causes you a lot of problems. It wastes a lot of energy. There are better things you can do, like sleep. Why not sleep at the next mealtime? Put your head down on the table. Go ahead, have a nap. But don't eat. Tell your mom, no, I'm not going to eat that. Lester Quibble says it's stupid. Yes, and that's my quibble for today.
I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree.
I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me, I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity.
I'll go out and find some wood and carve it into something good. I'll find a rock and beat the ground and listen to its beautiful sound. 'Cause I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me, I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity.
I'll find some water and some dirt and draw some pictures on my shirt. When my mama catches me, I'll run right out and hug a tree. 'Cause I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me, I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity. I'll find a bug and watch it crawl, climbing slowly up the wall. Find some things and I'll make a house and have some tea with Magic Mouse. 'Cause I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me, I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity. I'd rather be me than watch TV. I think I'll go and hug a tree. I'd rather be me, I'd rather be free and live life in simplicity.